Hi friends, it is so lovely to see you this morning. The plaintiff in today's case is trying to get his little brother to go to rehab. Meanwhile, the defendant really doesn't see a problem with his drinking habits. I don't know, does having a few beers every day equate being an alcoholic? What do you guys think? Does having more than 3 coffees a day make me a coffee addict? Probably. But with that being said, friends, grab your coffees and let's jump into this case.
You've come here today to bring your brother to court.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, I want him to be ordered into rehab. I think he has a drinking problem. I think he needs some type of help to get in it.
Now, you're the older brother?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
36.
Okay. Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing today?
I'm feeling great.
Are you?
Feeling all right.
All right. Heck of a thing. Your brother has come to court saying you need some help.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised about that at all.
Why?
Because I'm just a growing young man. Over my life, I've made mistakes, but I'm still growing. I'm a father of 3 now. I don't have time to drink like I used to. Yeah, I used to drink, but the
Now,
whole
how
situation.
old are you?
I'm 27 now.
You got 3 kids?
Yes, ma'am. 2 18-month-old and a 10-month-old. So how do I have time to drink?
So you have a set of
That's a good
twins?
question.
No, I don't have a set of twins. That's another story, Your Honor.
Well, let me ask this. How many baby mamas you got?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. All right.
Yeah.
You got to laugh yourself on that.
Yeah.
All right. Another story, right?
That's another
All right.
story.
Well, you know what? It might really be the story, sweetie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay.
All right. Tell me why you would come to court with your brother.
I'm coming to court, honestly, because it's my mother's dying wish. She passed away. She's like, I want y'all to get along. I want y'all to resolve anything y'all got
Now,
going.
how long your mama's been gone?
March of last year. So
Okay. I see a picture here of her.
she just
And
passed.
looks like she loved life.
Yeah.
Now, when you say about her dying wish, how did it end up?
Since I was born, I'm the baby. And it's like, since I was born, he always had this little attitude about him to where my father treats me a little bit better than him. And I'm like, so every chance he get, like I say, I'm a growing young man and I'm gonna make mistakes throughout life. I don't need him to bash me every time I make a mistake.
Well, let's do this, because I'm not here to bash.
Right.
But for your brother to come in and say, I'm bringing my brother here because we want to you need rehab or you need AA or whatever, that's extreme. So what I want to deal with, though, is give me some examples, because, this is court and I need to see some evidence.
The example,
Yeah.
and I don't try to bash it. When he was born, my mom, she was living life. She traveled a lot. She did what she did. She partied and whatnot. He was always with me. I raised him.
Well, Derek, you feel like you got left out? I mean...
I used to, honestly, but I got
can feel
past
that right now.
Yeah, I got past that.
When I asked you the question to tell me what about his drinking, instead you said, this is what I've done.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're trying to let us know, I've been a good brother.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Do you think he's been a good brother?
He's been a great brother, but that's what brings on the jealousy that he has.
Okay, let's back that up. Tell me about what you mean jealousy.
He blames me for things like his football career. That's the biggest thing. He said because he was watching me in the mornings and his attendance was bad, he didn't get to play football in high school the way that he wanted to. He was always with me, always watching me. That's not my fault. I was a child.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And I don't blame you for that. I blame you for what you're doing now.
Okay, but do you think it may have had, let me tell you something, you're not much different than a lot of folk that have other kids. When your parents, you had your mama and your daddy, right?
Yeah.
In the house, and both of them were working.
Yeah.
And so as the oldest child myself, sometimes everything falls on us. But you'll be surprised that could be the thing that can really make you stronger. Because you seem like you're a solid brother, right?
I try to be, and that's all I want from him.
How do you know that he needs treatment, though?
Because
you don't drink at all?
No, I don't drink at all.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. If I drink a glass of wine every evening, just to chill, you think I'm an alcoholic?
No, but if you wake up in the morning and drink, or if you asking everybody for $2 or $1 to get a drink and a hamburger every day, that's a problem.
It's clear that this brother has been kind of parentified. He had to take care of his younger brother, and there's probably a lot of resentment for that. Obviously, it's not really his little brother's fault, it's his parents' fault, but it seems like the plaintiff has never really given up this parentification, because he's still trying to take care of his little brother to this day. And alcoholism and alcohol abuse, it can be very challenging to kind of pinpoint who has a problem. Obviously, there's like the obvious ones who are drinking excessively every single day, starting to drink at 10 in the morning, getting so drunk that they pass out every single day. They don't remember things. I mean, there's like the blatant alcoholic, and then there's the ones who can still function. They don't drink during the day, have no problem holding a job, being, an active member of society. However, they still are using alcohol as kind of a self-soothing thing, and sometimes that can be problematic. Now, I come from a family that alcoholism is a very prevalent thing. I've seen the extreme alcoholic behavior, but I've also seen the less extreme. Glass of wine every night, or having a little road soda, as they say. Although I guess that's pretty extreme. But I've seen the way that it can affect you in minor ways and in very much extreme ways. I feel like the plaintiff is probably justified in his concerns for his brother, because if you see somebody who is needing to get a drink every day, asking for money so he can buy alcohol, that definitely raises some red flags. That probably means you have an addiction. That little thing in your brain is going off saying you need a drink, and that voice gets so loud, and sometimes it's so hard to say no to it, even if you don't necessarily want a drink. It's like gnawing at you. That's what alcoholism does. That's what addiction does. So I'm choosing to believe that the plaintiff is valid in his concerns, because I don't think that alcoholism always looks so extreme.
How long has your brother been drinking?
At least 5-10 years, at least.
My goodness. You drink every day? Tell the truth now.
Yeah, I have a couple beers every day, but like I say.
What about alcohol, like the hard stuff?
Nah, not every day.
No?
Sociable with that all the way.
Do you do that on the weekend?
Excuse me?
You do it on the weekend?
Yeah, I do it on the weekend. I have hard liquor if me and my lady go out. Like I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. I'm with my children all the time. 2 18-month-old and a 10-month-old. I have to be focused.
You ever heard of a functional alcoholic? We all have them in our family. You might be a functional alcoholic.
Nah, I gotta stay focused with them, Lewis. I know what I am, you know what I mean?
Nobody ever thinks they're like they are. You think an alcoholic automatically knows they're an alcoholic? If you gotta drink every day, something's not right.
I don't have to, though, Your Honor.
But do you do it? See,
Yeah,
that's one thing if you have to, because you're never gonna think you have to do it. It's sort of like anything, you can just give it up. But I'm saying if you're doing it every day, you're not operating on a clear mind. Hey, did you get a drink today before you came here?
No, ma'am.
Had one last night?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you did. I got a feeling. Do you see my point?
Oh, my God.
You see my point?
I see your point, but I'm saying I'm handling my business. I'm doing what I have to do.
Yeah, but he cares better for you than that.
He hasn't been around to see the good that I've been doing.
Why you say that? You all haven't seen each other?
I work a lot, but I know I get the phone calls, oh, your brother been beat up. Your brother got a black eye. Your brother bust his mouth today and went to jail. He was drunk. He fell down the stairs.
That was years back.
That was a couple, oh my God.
Oh.
Well, if you drank the night before, you came to court. Now hear what I'm saying. Somebody's bringing you to court for a problem, yet you still drink right before. You see? Now, what you have to do in time, let me tell you something. I'm double your age. My children are older than you.
Okay.
So you know what I've learned, kind of? Mm-hmm. That you got to take a moment sometime and step back and just hear and look and see what's happening. Because I'm not here to put you down. I can promise you that. When I look at you, I can look in the eyes of my own children. But I can tell you, your mama's not here to tell you, so maybe I need to tell you. If you knew you were coming to court because your brother was trying to get you into rehab, and you still wasn't within 24 hours of drinking, you might have a little problem.
Yeah, I think Judge Penny has a good point there. If your brother is taking you to court to have you mandated to go to rehab and you still think, yeah, I'll have a drink and I'll tell the judge I had a drink because it's really not that big of a deal. You would think you would be trying really hard to prove that you don't have a problem. And also, if you really are just a social drinker and it's not affecting you in any way, shape, or form, I find it hard to believe that your brother would think that you need to go to rehab for that. My father was an alcoholic, or is an alcoholic. I think you always technically are one, even if you don't drink anymore. And trust me, it was very evident that he needed to go to rehab. And the thing is, my dad was able to quit whenever he wanted. He would go a month without drinking just because. But the moment it was back in his system, it was just like a disease. Like it takes over. Just because you have the capacity to quit, just because you may not do it all the time, may not get drunk all the time, if your family members and your friends are seeing the way it's affecting you as a very serious thing that needs to be taken care of, then you probably have a problem. If you're able to have a glass of wine with dinner and not turn into a complete monster, you probably don't have a drinking problem. But if it gets to a point where your family is like, I think you might need rehab, I think it's safe to say that you probably do have a problem.
Now I heard him say about he's a rapper.
Yeah, he's not.
How is he about doing
I want him
that?
to focus on what he's trying to do. If you're gonna do it, focus
Is he
on
any good?
He's good, but he's a good drinker, and you can't be both.
That's a good point.
He's a great
All right,
rapper.
let me see this. Let me see if you're really good at this.
Okay, well, here goes a story about a young man asking God questions, and then God comes back and answers the young man's questions. Goes like this. What kind of world do we live in? If I'm a people person, I should understand that people are the main one flipping, some blood and some cripping. We all bleed the same in the dirty game, still it's just the same old killing. My life aligns since the coldest climate. Although my heart is dying, I'm still striving, but still a local novice. My only goal to be the wisest, to represent what's in my heart and deep from the start. Can't see my soul surviving. Some people love money and diamonds. The only thing I love is love, cause love can be lovely and love will love me shining. But love can also be depriving. Some people lose their life and mind for love if it's lusted for Lucifer's assignment. I still despise the way they changed my brain. Living with the world's pain, turning flames to rain. Searching for change just to maintain my everyday thing, the only way I'll make it out the game. But Lord, I peep the scenery and still I'm mistaken. Yet I ask so many questions and I know I'm mistaken. I'm watching over you, just making sure I made you
baby.
tight.
We ain't making a long CD
Okay.
here, all right? But it's all right. All right. If you think you good now, because I know you think you good, for you to rap in a courtroom, think about how much better you'd be if you had a clear mind. What you think?
I think I'd be a lot better if I had a clear mind, but at the same time, I'm not trying to justify it, but I'm not no heavy drinker like I used to. I've did at least 4 shows in the past 2 months. He haven't showed up to one of them. I got a 14-song album that I'm pushing on the streets to build a cover to get a barcode for, to get into the stores. All he go bring up is, oh, well, you had a beer today.
Do you think that there's some jealousy going on?
Nobody wants to see him make it, but me. I'm here to guide him to where he needs to be.
But deep in your heart, what I'm saying, because you know a lot of stuff is words. Now you know I just finished telling you that you're here, but I'm telling you to search within yourself.
Right.
Okay, he's got bars, as the kids say. The idea that you can't be both a drinker and a rapper is kind of silly to me, considering that's kind of like what they do. I feel like drugs, alcohol, and sex are like the top 3 topics that get rapped about. To be honest, the defendant seems like his rapping is more of like a storytelling, and it's actually quite good. And I understand where Judge Penny's coming from, that he could be so much better if he had a clear head. And call me devil's advocate, but I personally feel like when I am like in the darkest places of my life, or, you know, not doing too hot mentally, that's what inspires a lot of art. For me personally, I'm not a writer. I wouldn't consider myself a writer. But anytime I'm like really absolutely not okay in my brain, for some reason writing poetry is like the one thing that suddenly I'm good at. I can't do it when life is going great. It's just not one of my strengths. But when I'm like really struggling, suddenly I'm a poet. Well, yes, I do think for, you know, his health and longevity and taking care of your children, you should probably get help with your drinking if your family members are seeing it as a problem. But for the artistic standpoint, I mean, I feel like struggling artist is kind of a thing. Maybe that's bad for me to say. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of really good art comes from pain and struggle and heartache. So I don't know.
Now, I think you've been shot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I mean, you got a little raggedy life going here. People are just not shot in America on an ordinary basis. Do you know what I mean? It's a lifestyle. You've got 3 kids. 2 of them, they're not twins, but they're the same age, which means that you were with 2 different women at the same time.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
So, not to put you down, because I'm not, but it's enough already. Because I know that a lot of times we determine our manhood by how many kids we can have. But that's not the deal. Now, you know this was raggedy, with you with all these children around the same age, even though they were for 2 different mamas. You don't agree with that?
Yeah, it wasn't right. It wasn't right.
Yeah, it wasn't right. And so what they're doing is they're watching you. They're determining what it means to be a man based on daddy. And it's good to be a stay-at-home dad. That's fine. It's good to be a rapper. You got to have a backup plan, and maybe that's what he's trying to get you to have, right?
Your Honor, I know that he can make it. I know for a fact.
But you just see he's been drinking.
Yeah,
And he
that's,
drinks a lot.
I know also that that's a problem.
Yeah.
I've worked with him. He'll sit down, he'll say, Derek, I need to do this, and I need this song. And we'll sit down, and if he couldn't write it, I'll write it.
Okay.
We teamwork on that. That's not the problem. The problem is when it comes down to doing things properly, and your reputation is on the line, and you're trying to establish something in the industry. You cannot have that hanging over your head.
Right. You've been drinking for what, 10 years, you think?
Yeah, but I'm a social drinker now. I don't drink.
What's a social drinker to you?
A social drinker is somebody who doesn't drink all day, every day. Say if I work for 9, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, and I get off work, and I go in my refrigerator, I crack a Miller Lite or something.
Okay.
Have like 2, 3 of them. Then lay down and watch a movie with my girl. It's the same difference
Every night?
now. Every night.
And you don't think that might be a problem?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to justify drinking every night. And this is coming from somebody who, I worked in the alcohol industry for 7 years. I was a wine specialist. I worked at a winery. I worked at a liquor store. I sold wine and liquor to commercial retailers. In that industry, it is very normal to drink every day. Even if it's just tasting new product or having a glass of wine with dinner, it's just so normalized. I remember after I got laid off from my job, I kind of took it as like a thank God I'm out of this industry that is basically promoting alcohol, so much so that my colleagues kind of feel like they have a problem. And I felt such like a moral dissonance within myself because I had my father who was an alcoholic who became sober, yet I was working in this industry that kind of encouraged people who had those problems. And so when I got laid off, I was like, okay, thank God I'm out of this industry. I'm not going to go back, even though it was like my passion. The cost kind of outweighed the benefits in my mind. I remember being asked to host a tasting for somebody. It was at this huge event. There were 30 different wineries there tasting wine, and the amount of people I saw that were just absolutely wasted at this tasting. And I wasn't drinking at the time. And the man who was hosting a tasting directly next to me was bragging about how he already tasted 9 different Bordeaux this morning at 9 a.m. and I'm just like, are you guys okay? So yeah, having a drink every day, even if you're high functioning, you're able to do all your things, you're not an asshole when you drink, it still affects you. It still affects your brain chemistry, it still affects your body. And so yeah, I would say having a drink every day indicates a problem.
Do you believe that there are people who can be alcoholics and yet function in life?
I don't believe I'm an alcoholic.
I didn't ask you that. My question is, do you believe that there are people who can be alcoholics or even use drugs and function?
I've seen it.
All right, so why you don't think you're that person?
Because I'm not. I know myself. I know my heart. I know what I'm capable of.
Let me tell you something, honey. This is not about your heart. I suspect you have a good heart. You know, that has nothing to do with it. This is a pure family issue. This is a brother crying out for another brother who just can't get it. And let me tell you something, you need some help. So what I'm saying is, do you see we got to get a plan for you? Yeah. And that it might be the alcohol that's when you chilling with your girl, drinking your 3 beers, that might be holding you up from a plan?
Your Honor.
Baby, let me tell you something. Your rapping, as good as it is not going to put no milk in your baby's bottles. It's not going to happen. This is real life. You got to be a grown-up.
Ma'am.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
You know what this is about? This is about you recognizing and being a man. You got 3 kids. They need to see daddy get up in the morning, go to work, come home. Even if you keep them, you're acting like you're doing everybody a favor because you're taking care of your own children. This is what you're supposed to do. And this is not dumping on you. This is trying to lift you up. Be the man you've been called to be. Now, you do know, I think, that you could use a little bit of help. What you think?
I disagree, Your Honor.
You disagree?
I disagree.
Well, you know, let me tell you how this works. You can only get help if you want help.
I hear you.
I see potential in you, and I don't just say anything. Do you hear me? I don't have to. I don't know you, but I see potential in you. You made some mistakes. First of all, you got a second chance. At 19 years old, you were shot. You should have been dead and gone. Yet you're here. You got a brother who cares about you. He brought you to court to try to get you some help. You drink every day, yet you're not the one with the problem. So although I can issue an order saying that I think you need to go and get you some help, it won't matter if you don't think it matters. But what I'm going to ask you to do is know that it's bigger than you. It's bigger than your rapping career. It's bigger than all of that. You got 3 children. Are they all boys?
Nope. 2 boys and a girl.
My. So when the girl looks at you, the way that you treat her mother, the way you live your life, is how she's going to determine how her husband or the men in her life are supposed to treat her. All we're trying to say is you're 27 years old with 3 children under 2 by 2 different women. You weren't brought on this planet to do that. You weren't brought on this planet to just drop babies. It's bigger than that. You're too gifted. I listen to you. Deep rap. You hear me? I mean that. So what I want you to do, I can order this, but it won't matter if you won't go. The staff here is fabulous. Not only did we say find me a program, but I wanted programs in your area at different times. At this time, I'm going to issue my ruling. I find in favor of the plaintiff, but remember how this goes. Because when it comes down to treatment, this is family court. We're here to change lives. And so I can say I want you to go to AA. Go to the first meeting. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I'll go to one meeting.
Yeah, be a little more enthusiastic. But let me tell you what I want you to do. Imagine what you're doing with the alcohol and what you could do without that. Especially when you got your mama watching over you. Just imagine. You come back later on and you let me know after you go and go to the first meeting just to see. It's the hardest thing is going the first time. All right? Okay. I rule in favor of the plaintiff. You've agreed you're going to go the first time to treatment, at least one time to the AA meeting. Court will stand adjourned.
I agree, but I slightly disagree, but it is what it is, you know.
What impacted me about what the judge said was her getting onto, certain specifics and him, not drinking as much, that you got to get a job.
But the words that she gave me were a blessing, especially when she said, maybe if I didn't drink at all, then maybe I could be able to do things a lot better.
I got to look out for him. I might not,
It seems to me like the defendant really meant what he said at the end, that he's appreciative, and that Judge Penny's words meant a lot to him. And maybe his drinking hasn't gone to the point where he's like, oh boy, I think I need to, slow down a little bit. I feel like it's only a matter of time. I feel like when you're in your 20s, it's kind of hard to see something like that as a real problem. But at least he has a family member who has his back, who is looking out for his best interest, and I think that's really all you can ask for. You can't force anybody to get help. All you can do is be a support, be there. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on this case. What do you think about social drinking and being a high-functioning alcoholic? Do you think that the defendant fit the bill? Do you think he needs to go to rehab? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like and a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.